right. Hello, everybody. All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the year's biggest trading challenge. Tonight, Jonathan Trendy John Mckeever and Melissa Beegle are pulling back the curtain on how traders are winning 70+% of their trades, even in extreme volatility, using powerful, trendy buy and sell zones. John's mastery of supply and demand has shaped a proven, structured approach to the markets, and Melissa is living proof of its success. Once a dedicated student, she now teaches alongside John, helping traders build calm, consistent confidence in every trade. Together, they'll show you how to find precision entries, avoid getting whipsawed, and stay aligned with the market's biggest movers. Get ready, the challenge starts now. All right, take her away.
All right. Thank you so much for the introduction. Let's go ahead and do a mic check. Can everybody hear me? Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We're good to go. Awesome. All right. That's right. Thank you so much for the introduction, Daryl. It's the challenge of the year. That's what we're calling it. And tonight, Melissa and I are going to be your host. Just know that our entire mission is to build confidence, consistency, and discipline in your trading, and along the way, we might even grow our accounts. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this started. We are going to start with our disclosure as always. I'm going to read a couple of the lines, not the whole entire thing, and then I'm going to summarize it. Option trading can involve substantial risk. Basically, what it's saying is trading is risky. It is absolutely risky. And everything that I'm going to say tonight is not a guarantee that you will make money or that you will not lose money from the information found in the course that I'm about to present to you. The one thing that I'm after is to ensure that this is not you. Is anybody in the audience, has anybody ever been in a situation where you've really come to a point where you just feel like, hey, I don't think trading's for me? Or perhaps you're looking for the right answers. I know that we have the right answers for you. And it doesn't matter if you've been in this journey for 20 plus years or you just started yesterday. I believe that Melissa and I are going to give you the foundation that you need in order to have the best trading career that you're after. So instead of being this person, I really want you to focus on building your confidence. And I hope that I can show you that. This is my portfolio. And what we're looking at is the beginning of this year. And we notice over here in the lower left-hand corner that prices, or the price of my portfolio, has gone up from left to right. The major thing that I want you to notice when it comes to process is that during one of the hardest times of this year, which was right in this time frame, you'll notice that my portfolio dipped a little bit, but I had a process. I stayed consistent, I stayed disciplined to my plan, and it ended up working out. And every time you go to execute a trade, Melissa and I are going to be there to help you bring that confidence back into your trading in the next 30 days. This right here, this is Melissa's portfolio. I love this picture. It just makes me laugh, Mel. So I don't know if you know a whole lot about Melissa, but she was just like you. She was a student just 3 years ago, and she has since adopting the trendy methodology has grown her account. She has doubled her account 8 times, guys, 8 times, and over the last 3 years. So if we could just for a moment just say, congrats, Mel. Thanks for being here. I really think that you guys are super, super lucky to have come into here. I believe in law of attraction, and I believe that we are all here for one reason, and that is to be better traders. My own disclosure, my own disclaimer to everybody is I'm not perfect. But one thing that me and Mel are, we are consistent and we are passionate and we are here to make you better traders. That I guarantee you. So, here is what we're going to cover tonight, everybody. You're going to get to know us. You're going to get to see the types of trades that we take, trade examples, trendy lifestyle, transparency, challenge details, and then our specials. That's right, we have specials for you guys. And last time we had a nice little surprise for you. And this time, what I'm going to do at the end of this is I'm going to teach you a little bit about the golden profit level. You just use a little bit of Fibonacci, a little bit of structure. And guess what? We use that same process today to time the bottom of today's dip, and it worked perfectly. And I can't wait to show you that at the end of this. Okay, guys? All right. So if you are struggling with, and the list can go on and on, consistency, planning your trades, execution, risk management, allocation, following losing trades. Maybe you're like me. I had the worst luck when I first started this. It didn't matter what room I went to. It felt like every time that I jumped in somebody's trade, I lost. It was the weirdest thing ever. Is anybody else ever have that issue? They follow a trade, and it's like the ones they do trade, it just doesn't work out for them? Well, guess what? I'm gonna teach you how to fish. So sure, we're gonna have some amazing trades while you're here, right? But you're also going to learn how to fish, and that is the discovery. That was the path that I was on, folks. It took me many, many years to understand that. I really thought that I could just follow trades and become rich overnight, and I'm here to tell you that's the easy thought. We're going to actually teach you how to be consistent in your trading. Transparency is a huge one with me. You're going to hear all about transparency a little bit later. Okay. All right. So, who's this challenge for? Again, guys, law of attraction. I think it's for everybody that's here today. You would not be here if this challenge wasn't for you. You know that it is for you. And I'm telling you right now, if you're looking for a proven methodology, if you're looking for consistency and transparency, if you're looking for plans in advance, I want you to understand that Mel and I are going to make sure every Monday through Friday, we are up with you 90 minutes before the market opens. We are going over our plan. We're telling you where we want to buy, where we want to sell, where we want to trim, where we're going to get stopped out. And you're going to understand it and you're going to become confident because you can rely on us to lead you in all market conditions. And then on top of that, we have real time, transparent, straight from our broker alerts, API alerts. And I say that because I'm very proud of them. I was the first one to reach out to a developer and say, "Hey, can you do me a favor? I need to be 100% transparent. I need you to tap into my brokerage account, and I want these trades to go straight to our traders so that they can see that I put my money where my mouth is." So you get that as well. So whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, a positional trader, a futures trader, a trader who likes to sell credit, we do it all. Absolutely, we do it all. So, this is a little bit about me. My name is Jonathan Mckeever. I'm the creator of Trendy Methodology. I'll tell you what that is here in a few minutes. I'm a retired Air Force veteran of 21 years. What does that mean? It means I am super passionate. It means I lead by being, well, I put integrity first. I put service before self, which is you. I'm putting you all first before I put myself out there. I want to make sure that you're happy. It's really about watching you succeed in this, and I truly mean that. Integrity is a huge one, and excellence in all I do. So for anybody that used to be military, salute to you. I really appreciate you. You understand these core values and you understand how much they mean. I'm a father of 3 daughters. I just wanna know in the audience, is anybody in this audience have more than 3 girls? Even if you don't have 3 girls, if you just have a couple girls, how many of you have daughters out there? What does this mean? I'm telling you guys right now, I see that, yeah, some of 4 girls, holy moly. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, all right? And even if you don't, you guys can probably, like, resonate with this. I wanna be a hero to them. I want them to look up to me, and I want them to think like my dad, no matter what happens, he keeps his chin up and he keeps moving. And that's exactly what I promise you guys. Not only am I a hero to them, but I want to be a hero to you. But first, I need you to understand when I say that, I'm not saying I'm being reckless and that I need to win in front of you. I'm going to also lose in front of you. But one thing that you're going to get from me and Melissa is that when we lose, We're going to do it right in front of you. It's API alerts. It's real. It's real money. And we're going to explain to you why we lost so that you can understand, so that you can become a stronger, confident trader. These are the things that I was looking for that I could not get from anybody. I'm passionate. You could probably see that in my face. Seriously. I teach until I can't teach anymore. I've been up since what, 2 hours before the market we've been teaching, and we're still here. And we were trading after market, and we were showing traders how you buy the dip. It just never stops. And we're going to continue being your mentors. I have 12 plus years of trading. It may not sound like a lot, guys, but I've been through a ton, just like I'm sure many of you have been through. And if you haven't been through a ton, maybe you just started 5 months ago when the market does nothing but go up. That doesn't make it easy. Can I also ask you another question? And I'm looking here in the webinar chat. How many of you feel like it actually has not been easy? So my question is yes or no. Has the market been easy this year for you? Yes or no? And right away, I see more no's than yes. And this is not a planned event. I'm not asking you to agree with me, but I'm here to tell you right now that this is a very difficult market. And I feel as if you need mentors and educators who know how to trade all market conditions. Okay. I'm a beach enthusiast. Well, what does that mean, John? That means I am like your lifeguard. I live here on the water in Florida, and I take the conditions serious. I'm looking out at the market, I'm assessing, I'm analyzing, and if the conditions aren't right, you're going to know it in the morning, and I'm going to tell you. Conditions look choppy, folks. This is not the type of day where we're trying to just, get into calls or puts and watch premium erode. This is the type of day we sit, we relax, and we live our lives between the stop and the target. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, again, I'm your lifeguard, and I'm going to make sure that you understand the conditions before we start trading. So, what does Trendy stand for? It's an acronym, and with my military background, I tend to look at every name and go, I can create an acronym about this. T stands for trend, the R stands for range, the 3-to-1 is what we strive for, so 1 risk, 3 return. The N stands for no noise, no news, and I absolutely mean that in the trendy room. And everybody, anyone that's a member in here, you could tell them we use news as a catalyst. We will show you where to buy and sell, and we will be aware of the news. We don't care what they say. The news will push price into our buy or sell zones, and we will execute with confidence and discipline. And then before you know it, you'll be consistent and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. This type of trading, you can use the economic term demand and supply, because where we are buying, we identify that people have a demand to buy there. And in the supply area or in the sell zones, we know that there's too much supply and prices need to come back for price discovery. But even after all of this, everything that I teach you, you're going to hear me saying, I'm being transparent with you. No matter how much I teach you, everything that I teach you, the one thing that's most important is you. How many of you in the audience right now, once again, I'm keeping you guys going. I want you to participate. How many of you believe that right there? That no matter what, I don't care what indicator you have on the chart. I don't care what news somebody has given you, what information they have given you. If your mindset, what's between your ears, is not connected with the market, do you believe that with the right mindset, you could be a better trader? How many of you feel like you get in the way of yourself? Many of you get in the way of yourselves, don't you? If there's one thing that we love to talk about, Melissa, it is about mindset. And we take the trades, believe me. We got trades. We got trades. You don't have to worry about that in the trendy room. We got you covered. But most importantly, we want to talk about you and your mindset. So, speaking about Melissa, Okay, there you are. Hi, Melissa. And Melissa, the story can go on and on. And I promise you guys, once you're in the room, we will have plenty of stories how Melissa and I met and all the good stuff. But I'm going to keep it really short. And I'm going to tell you that the reason why Melissa is here with me and I call her my sister is because she is by far the most disciplined trader I have ever met. And what I mean by that, nothing will keep her from following her plan. And a long time ago, when I ran my business, okay, I put out a challenge to everybody, kind of like this, Mel, where I said, I want you to trade my setup for 30 days and I want you to journal it. And, I was talking to like 200 something people, right? At the time, 200 something people. And I noticed out of 200 something people, you get maybe 5% of people who participate who want to do that type of stuff. And there's something I noticed every single day. Melissa would show up and she would annotate, she would put the charts on there, she would show everybody with the arrows where she got in, where she got stopped out. And it was absolutely incredible. And it was like somebody had finally listened to me over the last decade because I've been looking for a trading partner and she just kind of fell there. And ever since then, she's absolutely been incredible. I couldn't ask for anything better. And I know that we make the best team and we will continue to make the best team. And again, like I said, you guys are very lucky to be here and I appreciate you. So, Melissa, without saying any more, go ahead and introduce yourself and I'll kind of sit back here in the background.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Hmm.
Yeah. So John nailed it when he said that I'm up for a challenge. That's why I love that every time we do an account challenge, I get so excited because that is how I began my journey with trendy trading. And so it's just the best of time. I met John, he was actually a guest trader at Simpler Trading. So almost 3.5 years ago, I was you. I was on the other side of this microphone, and John was a guest trader in the day trading room at the time. And I was sitting in there and I was listening to this new guest trader, and I was like, okay, what's this guy all about? And he said those two magic words that he's already said earlier, demand and supply. Now, being an economics person, demand and supply, boom, a light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, what? He's talking about supply and demand in trading? What? I got to listen to this because it was like a light bulb moment for real. I was like, why didn't I ever think to use supply and demand in my trading? Just like everything else in the world revolves around supply and demand, why wouldn't it work for trading? And so, after I listened to him that very first day in the day trading room, I went out on YouTube and I binge watched every educational video that man had ever put out. It took me a weekend. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, as a matter of fact, sitting in a hotel room and I binge watched all of his videos, and I immediately fell in love with the concept of trading from trendy buy and sell zones. So, fast forward it 3.5 years later, and like John said, I've been able to double my small account over 8 times. That allows me to do fun things with my family. I love to travel. I especially love to cruise. I don't know if there's any other people out here who like to go on cruises, but I absolutely love it. My husband and I try to go on a couple of cruises together every year, and then we take our kids. I have two children, adult children, 33 and 31, a boy and a girl, and three awesome grandkids that we take on a cruise every single year. And it's because of trading that I'm able to do that. And so I am forever grateful for John and developing trendy methodology, giving me a chance to be on this side of the microphone and just re give to other traders what John gave to me 3.5 years ago. So I'm forever grateful. Now, I have about 7 years of option trading experience, but I started building an equity account about 25 years ago. In my early to mid 20s, I started building an equity account. I love trading equity, but I also love day trading, swing trading, and leap trading options as well. Discipline. John said that I'm a disciplined trader. And I'm not just a disciplined trader, I'm disciplined with all facets of my life. It's just one of my core values. And trading is no different. I believe that discipline is the number one thing we all need to master to become more consistent and confident in our trading. So, through that discipline, that's allowed my account to grow over the last 3 years. And I am super excited to help you become more disciplined and consistent as well. My focus day in and day out, not just Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays as well, is to teach other traders that discipline, that consistency, and help others along the way. There is nothing that brings me more joy. No amount of money. I am talking nothing brings me more joy than helping others. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, all of you that join us for this 30-day challenge, you're going to leave or you're going to stay, hopefully, but you're going to walk out of the 30-day challenge a more disciplined and consistent trader. And I am super duper excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, Mel, you hit it on the head. And honestly, I always say I am very confident. I also have confidence in what we do. One thing that we did not want to come in and do is say, "Hey guys, we're going to take your account from 10,000 to 100,000." Um, Obviously, our expectation is to grow our account. Last time we did this, we grew 85%. But again, past results do not mean that we're going to do the same thing here. We also have great portfolios. You guys can see that. There is no guarantee, but one thing that I am very confident in, you at the end of 30 days will feel absolutely amazing. I don't think anyone out there teaches like we do, and they definitely won't see the type of transparency that we also present in the room here. So you're getting a lot there. Thank you, Mel, for sharing that. And I was like reading across here and kind of laughing at a couple comments. I love you guys, man. So what is the trendy methodology? I want to go over this. It's Fibonacci. It's a big into Fibonacci. It's trendy buy and sell zones. Our trendy edges that you'll see later actually identify buy and sell zones already for us on multiple time frames. So we kind of already have the convenience. Um, Range identification. Range is super important to me because over the years I found that like you have to be a very versatile trader. And I learned that a long time ago. And again, I love people. So I learned what you guys want and I apply that in our room. So we have swing trades, we have lots of leap trades, we have equity, we have futures, all that stuff. So it's really important to understand that I identify range, and that smaller ranges are for my scalp type traders, my 1 to 3 day traders, and then we're looking at bigger ranges for that identification of leaps and so forth. My favorite thing is total zen, and it's all about mindset. And the way that we are able to get an edge in the market is not only the prep time in the morning that we'll be doing during the challenge. This will set you up to already know like what we're doing. And again, that's not something that is normal. And I know this to this day. A lot of traders come in and you kind of, you listen, you're doing your thing, you wake up in the morning, and then boom, a trade comes out. It's a little bit different with us. We are going over what we're looking at. And even if for some reason, if we take a trade that we didn't go over, you can look in our alerts, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. You can open those alerts and you'll see exactly why we took the trade. And if you have any questions, we have this really cool feature where you can click on the alert and it's going to give you the information that you're looking for. Okay. The one thing that I love to do during this time is that's right, I like to draw for everybody because this really resonates with me every damn time I do it. And I think that it can resonate with you. Our job in the market is to identify levels. A lot of our levels are identified by using what we call zones. And what we're looking for are big buy blocks in the market and sell blocks. We can do a lot of different things for confluence. We can use Fibonacci's after we find these. We can use volume profile and we can use EMA clouds. That's primarily what we're using is EMA clouds, our buy and sell zones. And from there, our job is to identify these levels in advance. That's what we'll do with you. And this is how it will look. Hey guys, this will be the area that I really want to buy at. This is exactly what happened in the futures today. And I sent this out last night. And after Jerome came out, batted his eyes, and did whatever he did, the market got a little volatile and it pulled back. And I want to tell you, and I know this for a fact because I watched thousands of people, and prices come down into this zone that we have already identified. I went long. And the reason why I went long is because I already planned it out. I assessed my risk. I knew how much I could lose. And then as prices were going up, I went ahead and started trimming. And of course, I got out probably about a halfway of the move. And then I was able to capitalize off of that. The big difference between our edge and a lot of traders is you'll hear things like, hey, we need to wait for the move. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I want to make sure that I back that up a little bit. It's okay to be conservative and wait, but also it's really nice to have a plan before price gets there and take advantage of the volatility. So we assess it, prices go up. And usually what's happening with the old you is that right around this place, right in here, which is usually about 50% of the move, this is where we start to build a little bit of confidence. And a lot of traders will start looking at things like unusual options activity. Maybe they're looking at an RSI or some sort of other free indicator that's out here on your platform. And by the time you get the confidence to go in, unfortunately, something like this happens. And it could be that you already started a position here and at max pain, you took a loss just to see price turn in the direction you wanted it to go. And now you're just kind of revenge trading the whole entire way up, unfortunately. We're going to take that away from you. What we're going to do is identify these levels with you and teach you how to trade them and not be in fear. But also, what's most important is that I'm also going to teach you how not to be euphoric. So when prices get to levels where we're trimming or we're pulling stops up, I'm going to teach you how to be a good steward of your money. Okay. So that is the trading methodology. And this is the type of trades that I like to take. I do at the money, out of the money, calls, and puts. I love to sell credit primarily in SPX and sometimes on Tesla because I'm a long term shareholder there. I day trade. Every day during the challenge, you're going to see a chart. And matter of fact, I'm going to bring it down real fast for you. That looks like this. And we are going to trade from this for about 30 to 45 minutes. And I said this in the last webinar. If you do not have access to futures, I would highly recommend that you reach out to your broker to see if you can get access. It's not a big deal. You can actually trade the SPY and the QQQ with us off of these same charts. But you can be sure that you will be looking at these every single morning and we will have a trade set up every single day. Over here, this is an example, okay? Right here of the type of alerts that are in our room. And I'll get to those in a few minutes and kind of go over those so that you understand what it means by API. And some of you guys might already know, but for those that are in the audience, have any of you not know what an API alert is? Anybody out there that does not know what an API alert is? Or maybe you've heard me talk about it before. I don't. Okay. Couple of you. All right. So if you do not know what an API alert is, once again, we are patched in through our brokerage account. As soon as I hit the buy or the sell button, it is then transferred to our trendy trading room within milliseconds. There is no delay. John and Melissa, we are not typing out alerts. We are sending them directly to you immediately so that you can understand exactly what the time was, what the quantity was, what the strikes were, what the equity position was, and so forth. Disclaimer, the only thing that you're not going to see in the API alerts is futures. Okay. And we can talk about that, but you'll see my future trades in the room live if you want to follow along. Okay. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit. Let's just slow down a little bit and talk about the type of trades because I think it's important. The type of trades that you see in the trendy room are leap trades. These are one of my bread and butter type trades. These allow me flexibility. They can allow you flexibility as well. They have proven results. I have lots of results here on our leap trades. It allows for me for freedom. It allows me to take trades. I'll teach you exactly how long I'm going to stay in, what needs to happen in order for us to stay in, what happens if we were to get stopped out, and so forth. And all this gets delivered to you in advance so that you understand. And it reduces time decay, and it also allows me to hedge, which is really fun sometimes. Okay. So a couple examples that I have on here, usually I would show you BABA. We did like 1,000% in BABA, but I really like this one because I just closed this position the other day. This is Intel. And when I bought this trade, it was actually down here and we moved from this level around the 19 level. And then notice here I have what's called a 2025 projection. And that's one big thing that we deliver here in the trendy room. We're able to give you the setup for the entire year in 2000. So for this year, we'll be doing this in December. So you'll know what the plan is for 2026 on our bigger names and so forth. Okay. Now I want you to see the results. I'm going to click this 2025 projection hit. I stayed in this trade. Matter of fact, I just closed on October 28th, just a couple days ago. I rolled into $50 calls. But here's the thing. They are absolutely free. There is nothing that can hurt my portfolio. I have financed this trade because I stayed confident. I paid attention to the bigger time frames, and I knew exactly what my risk was when I first took this trade at the beginning of the year. I had a plan on the dips. I knew that I wanted to add. I knew I wanted to trim and so forth. This is what makes leap trading fun for me. It's about the bigger picture, and I encourage everybody to have a certain allocation for that. I love trading earnings, folks. I've been killing it in earnings. I killed it this past week. We hit our targets on, not only did we hit our targets to the downside on Tesla, we also hit our upside targets. We hit Goldman Sachs a couple times this year. I'm currently in the money on Meta on my put debits that expire tomorrow. And then we have longer term calls. I love this strategy and I will teach it to you in the room. And it is the perfect time right now because it is earnings season and it's a special time. I'll be able to go over these type of trades with you and teach you how to do these. What I want you to focus on is before earnings happen, you're going to notice these zones. This is a buy zone and this is a sell zone using Fibonacci extensions. I want you to notice what happened after earnings. Price came down. Look at the right-hand side of the screen. Price came down into this area. Okay. I sold my puts there and was able to capitalize. And I still have calls that are left for this time frame here. And again, we'll go more in depth in the future when you're in the room. Here's our Tesla earnings. You can't forget this one. I sent it out. It's all over social media. I did this in advance. I identified a buy zone. I identified a sell zone. And this is what I did. We woke up the next morning after earnings. We sold the puts for $410. That really, Melissa, near and dear to my heart. I wanted to sell it for 420. It just didn't work. I sold it for 410. We got 78%. And then from that buy zone, I also jumped into calls for $13.95 and I sold them for $18. So that's about $5 to the upside. Okay. And I'm still sitting in the 475s by 485s that expire 21 November. This is by far my favorite thing to do into earnings because I guarantee you have been told to sit on your hands into earnings because you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to show you this strategy. It's going to change your life. This is an MU swing. This is quite, I didn't get all into this. Obviously, this is one of my biggest trades that I actually made. I don't care about, if you notice, let's go back for a minute. If you notice on my portfolio and on Mel's, we don't put money on there. My job is not to entice you to come into this room because of the amount of money that I make. I want you to be hungry for education. I want you to learn. I want you to watch me. I want you to see all my alerts so you know that I put my money where my mouth is. Okay? Just want to make sure you understand that. NVIDIA. This was just the other day. So I did update all these slides from our last webinar last Wednesday. This is one of our most popular indicators called the PMZ. PMZ is easy as 1, 2, 3. I took this trade before I knew it was going to explode to the upside. I didn't need to know that it was going to explode to the upside. All I needed to understand was my risk, my reward, and what options I wanted to buy. We entered here, we made money to the upside, and then we entered again, and then we closed this trade at the end of the day, and then it continued to move up. Just as an example, so that you can see I'm versatile in my trading. This was a straight up call. I bought the 195 calls for $395. Down here, once I made my money in the calls, I rolled that into a 200 by 205 or a 5 wide debit spread. And then I sold these for 100 and something percent as well. I love futures trading, but it's only a portion of my trading, but I do it almost every single day. I did it today and I love swing trading it. I love short term trading it, but you're going to see that in the room. And the way that we do it, we use the same methodology that we use on options and that we use on equity. You can actually use my methodology on Forex. So if you guys are Forex traders, you can do it there as well. Okay. But you're going to learn how to trade futures. And if you don't want to trade futures, you could trade the SPY and the QQQ or the SPX alongside of us when we're looking at our future charts. Okay. And we definitely trade a lot of SPX as well. So this leads me to the trendy lifestyle. I want you to feel comfortable taking trades and leaving for the day, but I also want you to be comfortable when you decide to stay in front of the charts that you feel confident to execute trades. Okay. The training methodology, it's going to allow you to like live your life between the stop and the target, because the real cool thing when I go back to this is I'm giving you example. Let's say we want to go short something. You're going to know how I want to go short here or how you want to go short there. And what you could do is, and what I'll tell you is, we're going to have a target to the downside. And I'm going to tell you only two things can happen in your life, or in this trading, I should say, in trading. You can either get stopped or you're going to hit your target. And because you understand your risk allocation, you're going to be super comfortable taking these trades. So again, you live your life between the stop and the target if you choose to walk away from the screens. So set and forget type of trades, I love talking about them. Sometimes I'll hear traders tell me, man, I hear set and forget, and that scares me. It should, because you probably were doing set and forgets with a pretty bad process. This process, again, I'm very confident about. And again, I think that you'll be able to see that it can work for you. It's define risks before you head out for the day. And again, it's going to build confidence, consistency, and discipline. All right. So these are the type of trades that Melissa executes, and she's going to go over those with you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, John. All right. So, first off, let me start by explaining the type of account I trade out of. I trade out of a cash account. That means that I am not bound by the pattern day trading rules. It also means that I am a directional trader, meaning if I am looking to go long, I am buying calls. And if I'm looking to go short, I am buying puts. That is the only type of trades that I take from my account. That allows me to day trade over however many times I want. I can get in and out, in and out, in and out, and I'm not limited to 3 day trades in a 5 day period. Okay. Every time we start a account challenge, I reset my account to $5,000. The reason I do that is so that I am trading from a small account. That way, if there's someone in the room that's doing the a challenge with us, sorry guys, if someone's mm-mm. All right, sorry about that. If someone in the room is trading from a small account, I want to also be trading from a small account to show that it's not about having a whole bunch of money in your account in order to be a disciplined and consistent trader. I believe that if you can grow a small account, then you'll be even better at growing a large account. You don't need a lot of money. So, today, at the end of the market, I reset my account to $5,000. I showed everyone in the trendy trading room that that's what my balance is going into tomorrow. All right. I trade from a cash account. I'm buying at the money calls and puts 99% of the time. There are times if I'm trading a name that is a little more expensive than what my allocation is per trade, then I will choose a strike that is out of the money. And I like to use my first target as that strike price. I love day trading, including 0 DTE. Recently, over the last year, some circumstances in my life caused me to have to find a way to make quite a bit of money every day in order to pay some household bills. So I started day trading SPX. I absolutely fell in love with it, and it's hard to not day trade SPX. So I day trade SPX, but I also day trade other names that I give a focus list every single day of 3 tickers that I'm going to focus on out of the PMZ. And I will day trade those each day as the price sets up according to the pre-market zone. I love to swing trade. I'm super excited that the challenge starts tomorrow and I can get back into my swing trades because I don't like to carry any contracts or any positions when I start the challenge. I like to have a clean slate. $5,000, no trades on. So that's what you're going to get from me when you come into the room tomorrow and join us for the challenge. $5,000 account, no trades on. And of course, I also love leap trades. So here's an example, a recent example of SPX. I believe this was yesterday, Tuesday, yesterday's trade. I will trade upside and downside. I use trendy buy zones and sell zones. I use key Fibonacci areas. This first example is a Fibonacci zone that I went short after confirmation of lower highs. Took the trade down to the first target where I trimmed out of one contract. And then the gray zone that you see below was the ultimate target where I exited that trade. I also trade to the upside. Here's an example of the entry out of the PMZ. Same day, buying puts, then buying calls. Entry out of the PMZ all the way up to the first target. I only had one contract, so that is where I exited at the key psychological value of 6,900. So next up is a trade that I took also yesterday from TSLL. You can see the box on towards the bottom of the screen. That's the PMZ. That was my entry. Price above the PMZ. I'm trimming as targets are hit to the upside. And then towards the end of the day, I trail stopped out on my runner still for profits and took the day trade off. So quick, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I knew my risk and I knew what my reward was. I got in at $1.38. That second target paid $1.85, and then I believe the runner was stopped for like $1.55. Not every trade I take, nor every trade John takes is a winner. It's just as simple as that. We will have losers, but we know our risk before we enter a trade. Here's an example of a loss that I took on SPY. I bought at 98 cents and I was stopped out when we had a candle close below the PMZ for 70 cents. So it was a loss. And you can see the PMZ worked perfectly to that downside because price continued dropping there. So I was stopped out. Here's an example of a swing trade. I love finding the trendy buy and sell zones. Once price came down into the buy zone, I knew I wanted to go long. Again, trimming at the targets to the upside. And like John said at the very beginning, we want to teach you how to manage your trades. This is an example, a break even stop after I have taken profits. I don't want to allow a winning trade to become a losing trade, and we protect our capital that way. So there's an example there, in at $1.50, trimming at $1.80, and again at 201. All right. I said I like leap trading. I have an equity account. I give levels ahead of time at the beginning of the year on all your Mag 7s. We have done wonderful on all the Mag 7s. But here's an example of a leap trade on RCAT. This name came across, caught my attention. I had plans to buy at 650, again at 460, and then a third ad at 315. I got two of those buy areas hit and trimmed out, and now I am out of over 75% of that position. Last trim was at $15, and you can see the next target up there at 17 and a half. So, but here's the deal, guys. All of these trades, I see some comments that you don't know how to do that as a beginner trader. And hey, I feel you. I had no idea either whenever I was first starting to trade. And that's the thing you're going to get with John and I in the room. We're going to teach you these things every single day. So don't worry about being a beginner.
That's right. That's right. And one thing that I want to piggyback on here, Mel, is that all your levels, so that everybody understands out there, these levels are put there in advance. And I just want to make sure, because that is the edge that we have. See, a lot of the levels to the upside, Mel, they're coming from, and you guys will figure this out, they're coming from cell zones and they're coming from Fibonacci. And once you learn that, it's really imperative. It's crucial to the healthiness of our trade, because see, a lot of traders, they'll be like, "Hey, I'm getting into a trade." I'm like, "Hey, what is your target?" And they'll be like, "100%." They'll just say that, Mel. And it's like, well, how do you know it's going to hit 100%? I don't know. That's just what I'm taking. And unfortunately, I've seen people, that it goes up 65%, and then before you know it, they wake up tomorrow morning and it's down 80%. We understand that our levels work very, very well. And if we have members in the room, again, I ask the members to speak for us, right? I don't like, we have hundreds and hundreds of members. They can tell you that our levels work very, very well. So this is something you will learn as a new trader or even a veteran trader. Okay.
That's right.
All right, guys. Let's see. The main problem, I love using these slides. They're very important to talk about. The main problem with trading mentors and why we are different, the backstory on this, it should say the main problem with that I've had with trading mentors and why we are different here in the Trinity room is I dealt with a lot of transparency issues, and I've been in probably 8 to 12 different trading rooms. and they were all pretty much the same. Now, am I saying that we are the absolute number one room out there? Probably. But I'm also telling you, we are leading in the development of transparency. I still don't know anyone that does API alerts. And that's because we cannot cherry pick what you're going to see. Every trade in my account is going to you. Okay. The second thing is false hope. And when I think of false hope, I just think about all the ads on TikTok and Instagram about big homes, Lamborghinis, and this really get rich quick kind of scheme. And I think about the time that, as a grown man, I was crying and upset about not doing well because I felt like I couldn't do anything right. And I knew like this is not easy. But what led me into trading was false hope. I used to look at people's PL, and I'm here to tell you right now, I'm talking about the number, guys, not the graph. See, I was not wise enough to pay attention to a graph. I just looked at numbers. And I would be like, holy cow, that person made this much money on one trade. I'm going to do it too. And I found out really quickly it's very difficult without the education to follow along. See, we all have different risk tolerances and so forth, and we're going to learn those together. No process or alerts that show proof of concept. What I mean here, my experience was when we were winning, I used to ask mentors, I would email them, I would reach out to them and say, hey, I really enjoyed your trade on, let's say, NVIDIA. Could you please tell me how we did that? So they either were keeping like their secret sauce away from me, but they couldn't tell me how to rinse and repeat something. And it made me start to realize after so many years, I really felt as if people were just throwing spaghetti on the wall and trying to see if it would stick. It's very hard to come by people who are very consistent. And you'll hear things out there like you don't need a win rate, a high win rate to be successful. And I would agree with that. But I would tell you on your side as a student, I don't know how many of you want to watch somebody who loses 60% of the time and wins 40% of the time, or vice versa. They win 30% of the time, lose 70% of the time. What kind of confidence can you put into a system like that? How are you going to feel when you lose four times in a row? The last time I checked, I really cannot remember the last time I lost four big trades in a row. That would be absolutely crazy. I would probably feel down on myself. So once again, I feel really confident, guys, that this process can work for you. Too much noise. One thing that I pride us in is that our room is primarily, well, I shouldn't say primarily, it is all trendy methodology. Everybody in the room is talking about buy and sell zones, and they're talking about Fibonacci, they're talking about the golden profit area, all of that type of stuff. So no noise in here. We're all aiming for the same levels and getting results. The problem with traditional strategies, in my opinion, if 95% of traders are all failing, and you could put whatever number you want in there, 80, 85, maybe it's getting better. If they're all failing and using the same indicators, then what's your edge in the market? If your indicator is free, then I've always thought that the competition could crush you. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I definitely do not rely on the typical indicator. I rely on trendy edges, buy and sell zones, because for one, they do not move. They're there and I can rely on them and I can assess my trade before price gets there. That is the edge that you will see that we have over a lot of traders. Most of all, people just need too many variables before they execute. I need to know what Jerome said. No, you don't. I need to know what the news channel said. I need to know are these buys or sells on the options? No, you don't. You need to understand a process, where to get in, where to get out, and what your stops look like. That builds your confidence. Not looking in 20 different places, wondering what everybody else is doing. I'm going to teach you how to be confident about yourself and how to take those trades without other people's opinions. Trinity zones don't move, guys. They're there in advance. The tools that I make my job easier are my indicators, and that is an edge indicator that identifies buy and sell zones. the pre-market zone, which by the way has its own song out of Nashville. I'm the voice in it, but a very famous producer of country music did that for me, and super cool. And then we have our bands indicator, and these come with scanners. Okay, the Trinity edges look like this on your screen. There is a buy zone, and then there is a sell zone. What you will notice is it's just a line on the screen. It's actually a zone if you want to turn on the zone, but it's just a line. And we teach you how to take this trade from a conservative approach or an aggressive approach with risk in mind. The next thing are the bands. And there are a lot of people out there with bands, but my bands are different. They have buy and sell signals. And Melissa will tell you that on the weekly, and we did this in the room live, that our buy signals are 90% accurate. That is absolutely crazy on the weekly time frame. And for me, guys, that's where the party's at. That's where the big money's made on the higher time frames. 90% accurate. Pretty awesome. PMZ is easy as 1, 2, 3. I encourage you guys to listen to the song as soon as you get into the room. Go to the audio file. I want you to listen to the PMZ song. It's pretty cool, get you pumped up. But it looks like, let's do it one more time. That right there, this is the PMZ. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Boom, buys go in, stops go in. We have targets to the upside, and then we're going to trim and pill out of those positions. So, how much can you grow your account? I'm not going to give you a guaranteed number, folks, but obviously, we're in this challenge to not only make some money, but I want to preface that we are building your confidence, consistency, and discipline. These are the things that you're going to get during the 30 days and probably a lot more. My whole thing is under promise, over deliver, not the other way around. 7 a.m., 90-minute prep every day, Monday through Friday. Okay, 90 minutes, be there. This is serious stuff. Give me 30 days of your time, folks. 3 p.m. every single day after the market, and this is Central Time, folks. Central Time journal session. I'm looking forward to this. Melissa's amazing at it. We're going to do this together in the room. 8 p.m. night trading. That's right. I probably didn't say this on the last webinar. So if you guys are into futures and you want to do some night trading and just hang out with me, this is more like unprofessional. We're just kicking it. I'm going to turn on the screens. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to talk to you about whatever. My wife, my kids, the beauty of life. It doesn't matter. I'm going to trade with you, hang out with you. And that's what's going to happen on Monday nights. And then every Thursday during the challenge, we're doing happy hour. That's where we all come into the room. We're hanging out, we're talking. It's more of a laid back vibe, but we're teaching you. We might teach you different setups and so forth that you're not getting during the day, or we're just going to chat and talk and hang out. Now, that does not include Thanksgiving time. Okay. All right. So are you ready to trade the big moves? Of course you are. I know you are. I know you want to take that your trading to the next level. And that's where the next screen is all about specials. So the Trendy 30-day trading challenge for the basic package, guys, for the basic package is $197. Okay. And this $197 right here is going to include API alerts, daily Q&A, the premium newsletter from Simpler Insights, our Simpler Showcase, our mobile app, our 30-day challenge, our trendy trading plan sessions 90 minutes before the open, everything that I was showing you. What it does not show is going to be supply and demand system class. This is a very good class. And then my indicators. Okay. So for 197 bucks, boom, that's what you got. Now, last Wednesday, I will tell you right off the bat that the elite is absolutely the go-to. Matter of fact, I would say that most traders bought the elite, but let's go over the pro and elite before I get there. The pro is everything that I just said, but you're buying a quarter package. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's very inexpensive. You can see the value is typically at $1,044. The one thing you're getting right here that's really, really big if you definitely want the education on how to identify buy and sell zones is right here in this pro. Okay. In the elite package, I'm going to make this simple for you. You get absolutely everything Okay. My indicators alone are $3,000. I want you to think about this. The indicators are $3,000. They're always $3,000. You're getting 1 year with us. You're getting everything I just talked about. You're getting supply and demand class. You're getting the indicators, the challenge. You get to hang out with us for a year. And honestly, if I have any members in the audience right now, I would ask you to speak for me instead of me selling this. Ask our members what they think. We have I would say, one of the most elite rooms. We have an amazing, I mean, just everybody is amazing. We have some of the most amazing traders in our room that are hyper focused on what we do. And I would say that we are the best room out there. And this elite package, if you buy the elite package right now, I will throw in the SPX room for 1/4. For 1/4. And Melissa is also trading in the SPX room, and we have a lot of plans coming up in there. She is a part of the room, and so I'm going to throw that in if you buy the elite package, okay, for 1/4. All right. So if you're interested, if you are a current member and you have questions, reach out to customer service. Again, don't let this get away, guys. You have 24 hours. 24 hours. We start our challenge tomorrow. Be there. Okay. Now, the elite package right here, again, you get all the things that I talked about. We know what's going to happen in the Trinity room. We're there every day. We have plenty of hours that we're hanging out with you guys. We're teaching, teaching, teaching. But you might still be asking yourself, why the challenge? Because again, you're looking for growth, not only from an account perspective, but you're looking for personal growth. And again, I believe in law of attraction, and I know that's why we're here. We're trying to grow together. And as I've said before, if you want to go on Trustpilot and read all the reviews about Melissa and I would highly recommend it. I can't read all of these, but I will tell you there is just exceptional feedback on our room, and I expect it to continue. So, one thing that I want to make, so some traders, they look at that and they're like thinking, hey, that's pretty expensive. This deal is pretty cool. I know that when I owned my business, I had no idea this existed. If you're worried about fronting the $2,900, you can go to PayPal and they have 0% interest for 6 months. So you can break this payment down, pay it over a 6 month period, and it is well worth it. Okay. So I'm going to keep it here. We're going to do Q&A. Let's do Q&A for about 10 minutes, Mel, and then we'll go into our session where we teach, where I'm going to teach, and you can teach with me too, Mel. It doesn't matter. We're going to do the golden Fibonacci level. Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, let's do some Q&A, guys.
So guys, if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A tab. That way I'm not scrolling a lot of chat. That'll make it a much simpler. So if you can put it in the Q&A chat, I'd appreciate it. Alex asks, is it possible as a current member to get the SPX room included in my account, or do I already have the SPX room?
And I would say reach out to support and ask them specifically,
Yep.
and so that they can look up your account information.
And yes, Johnny, the indicators work on TOS and TradingView,
Mhm.
both of those platforms. Are the indicators subscription based? All updates included for life?
Yeah. So one thing that we really pride ourselves on is we do not do updates. I've been with the same indicator since I started. I've been selling the same indicator, and there is no reason for us to update it. But I will tell you, if we update them in the future, you will get them. And I didn't want to make that a long process, but the indicator elite like bundle that you get with the elite package is much more than the ones that I just told you about. We actually have trendy turn signals. We have a trendy, we have 3 different, you get a bunch, and it is perfect for our room. It's a one-stop shop. You open up the screens, you know exactly what you need to do after you spend 30 days with us. You just click on things and your setups are right there.
Awesome. Slade asks, are your supply and demand zones drawn manually every day or are they pre-filled indicator? And how do you find stocks in play?
Yeah, so one thing I will tell you is that we definitely manually put zones on. And the reason why we do that is because there's a learning curve for new people who come in. I want to teach you how to find those levels, but understand that the trendy edges, say that you get the elite package, your trendy edges are a playing field of the buy and sell zones. And as you get more advanced and you know what you're looking for, you're going to manually find them on your screen and then you're going to look and go, "Oh, there's a trendy edge there." All right? So, it's just one of those things. And you get
Awesome.
that and you get the supply and demand class. It's gonna teach you how to identify the levels.
Awesome. Dave asks, what do we need our account to look like before tomorrow?
What do you need it to look like? Well, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I need you to be at zen. If you come into the challenge and you're hanging on to some, really bad trades and they're pissing you off every day, I I would say, like, put them in a different account and let's focus on our challenge.
All right. Tony J asks, I'm going on a business trip next Wednesday for a week. Can I join when I get back?
I mean, you can always join, but the deal right now, this deal, do I think
Did
you're going
you
to miss out on too much if you're gone for 1 week? No way. Uh-uh.
did you mention the curveball SPX free for a quarter is only
Yep,
good for 24 hours?
24 hours I did. Yep,
Okay.
and I'll say it again. The SPX room I'm throwing in with the elite for 1 quarter, but you only have 24 hours to buy the elite. Listen, the reason why we're doing 24 hours, the challenge starts tomorrow, guys. And Melissa and I have been waiting to do this for
Oh my
a
gosh.
while. So we're ready to rock and roll.
Darren asks, can you go over the rules versus types of trades for the challenge? Is it mainly PMZ or what the market is setting up for regarding specific stocks?
Yeah, great. That's a great question. We are going to be trading. I'm going to be trading. I'm going to be selling credit. I'm going to be trading PMZ trades. I'll trade futures trades with you guys every morning, and we'll trade swing trades. And yes, in my opinion, there's always a setup. It depends on me as a moderator if I'm flipping through charts. Again, it's really easy access for me to click on things. You'll see tomorrow and find setups. Okay.
Terry M asks, is there futures training included with this?
Yeah, I mean, every single morning, what's really cool is that again, everything I do is fractal. So you're not going to once you learn how we're doing this, watching me in the morning, you're gonna know exactly how I apply this to all charts. So yes, I mean, we go 30 to 45 minutes every day, Mel, on the future charts. And they stay on the screen, by the way, for the whole entire day. So
Yes. You won't come into the room and not see screens, our charts on the screens the entire day, actually before the market even opens.
yeah, and so if you guys will just look at my screen for 1 second here, I'll kind of give you an idea. So this is like the alert that I sent out last night, and my favorite place to get long, I put in here was 68.38, but I also wanted to try the other zones, and you'll notice right here in this area. So this is in advance. This was last night before the market had pulled back, and that's exactly where I got long today. And these are I want to go over this really quick just so you guys can see. This
A
is
little
our
bit of
room.
dyslexia there, John. 6883.
Oh, thank you. That's right. I sure did, man. Oh my gosh, I've been doing that a couple times here and there, and the wife's reminding me as well. But this is the room right here, guys, and I want to show you what you're getting into because it's the most amazing room ever. Meaning simpler. What they've done here is just great. We have our alerts that come up here. So again, via API. So right in here. Down here is going to be the chat section in here. And then over here is everything you need. We're going to have your broad market analysis that we do every Sunday, educational videos, new to trendy, Melissa's trade notes and her journaling. API alerts, everything you want to know about them is right there. My Tr3ndy performance and open positions, Tr3ndy indicators explained. So, like if you need to understand how they are, how to trade them, it's all in here. Our schedule for every day, and then 2025 outlook. This is how I prepared everybody for this year. It's all in there. My favorite thing, though, check this out, guys. So, see right here, NVIDIA. I can click right here, and you're going to see people's comments. Like, thank you for that trade. I actually made money today. I could not close. I will try tomorrow. Sold at 345 on the open. Great job, Ivan. So this is where you would ask questions. So just want to show you that interface real fast. All right. So pretty cool, right? I think it's one of the best.
Donna said she came in a little late. Can you just touch on what API alerts are again?
Yeah, 100%. So API alerts are straight from our brokerage account. So API, to simplify it, it's simplify application development by allowing developers to integrate data from the services capable from our application. So our Thinkorswim. And instead of developing them from scratch, API also gives application owners a simple, secure way to make their application data functional to everybody. So in other words, I click, I buy something, and it goes immediately to our room, okay, within milliseconds. So we're not writing alerts. Not that that's bad. I'm a very slow typer. You would not want me writing you alerts, but I will tell you in my past, it can sometimes lead to bad feels. And it just, for me, it's just I love things that happen really quickly. And yeah, so it's a way of showing proof of concept and you understand they're coming straight from our account. And Melissa and I both have API alerts.
Awesome. Looks like we got all the questions answered, John. So if you want to do a little more teaching on the golden profit area.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. I mean, if that's okay with everybody. So let's go ahead and I don't know if we can copy and paste this or if they need it, Lorna. But I'm going to get away from this screen. But again, guys, if you have questions and you need to purchase this, you have 24 hours. Do it because the SPX room costs X amount of money per year and per quarter. It's free to you. The indicators, they're free.
It's
I don't.
available in the chat, John, so they can
Okay,
see it.
cool, cool. And I wanna make sure you guys know the way that I look at this, that it for my brain to comprehend this, you are getting my entire indicators for free. You're getting this, right here, the supply and demand class for free. So this is typically like 500 bucks or something like that. And then up here, you're also getting, I mean, you could switch it around or you can say, I'm getting the room free for a year and I'm getting the SPX room free for a quarter. It's pretty incredible. And it's probably, once again, just a great deal. Real quick though, 512-266-8659. That's if you guys want to call in if you have a question for anybody. Okay. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And let's get you over here. Let's talk about this trade right here. And I was pretty excited about this because one, I mean, maybe just the stars aligned, guys, and the 618 or the golden pocket worked. So, first of all, this was the trade that I took today from here. And I cut and paste. Give me 1 second. I want to show everybody just for proof of concept here. Let me get into right here. And I'm going to open this image so you guys can see it right there. All right, so let's take a look at this. These are all my entries down in the zone today, and this is where I was trimming out. Okay, so these are my multiple contracts coming into a zone. I bought there, sold, and I want to show you this and I want to teach you this. And I think it's a very, very important part of your trading, and it's free. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything to put a Fibonacci on your chart. And because of that, we want to go ahead and recognize it and I want to teach it to you. So if I come over here, I want to go over this slide real quick before we start. This is called the golden profit, and a lot of people call it the golden pocket. And we were like joking around one day, and I was like, actually, it should be called the golden profit because we keep profiting from it over and over. It's one of our most profitable levels. and it's free. And see this right here? I want you guys all to know that these are the two best coefficients to put on your tool. Not everybody has these. See, these are not this number right here, the 88.7. This is my favorite number. And I would highly recommend that you put it on your tool. Okay. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Now, I want you to understand when we do this, once I teach you how to identify the range to put the Fibonacci on, I want you to look for confluence. We're looking for candle structure. You can use volume profile. I don't use it all the time. The reason why I put volume profile on here because it resonates with a lot of folks. So I want you to be able to put volume profile on your charts and you can look at the levels I'm giving you for that little bit of extra confidence. I also use EMAs. So tonight, I'm going to show you how to define range, identify the levels, and accept your defined risk and how to execute that trade. Okay, so are you guys ready? We'll take about 1 minute. I'm going to sip on my water real quick and then we'll get started. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody's still awake though. If we can get, yeah, I'm ready, or hey, thanks, I appreciate you. All right, awesome. Let's go. Because honestly, I love free. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and break this down. All right, so I'm going to show you really quick. When we go to a higher time frame, sometimes it's easier, but I'll show you exactly how I came up with this level this morning. So, or 2 nights ago, I should say. We knew that there was a gap in here, okay? And all I did was this is where the candle closes, okay? Right here, the candle closed right here. And what I did was I took my Fibonacci, and let's just put it over here for fun. I'm just going to place it right here. Don't pay attention to any of the candles. I want to show you how you change your coefficients because I need you to do that. We're going to click on Fibonacci tool. We're going to right click. Don't worry, this is recorded. You can go back and watch this. We're going to edit properties. And in here, I want you guys to set up your coefficients just like this. Forget about the 140 and the 1618. Okay. All we're using are these coefficients right here, just like that. So take a snap picture. I'll give you a few seconds if you want to take a quick picture. Go ahead and take a picture of that so that you understand what your numbers need to be at. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and take those off. Now, range is pretty straightforward. Like, for example, a range looks like this is sideways right here. I'm pointing right here. This is a sideways move. This is an up move. This is an up move. This is how we identify range. Now, no matter where you anchor your coefficients, I need you to find the range first. How do you know what range to find? The way that I know what range to use is understanding your average trading range, okay? Or the average true range. So, for example, tomorrow is going to be Thursday. We have 2 days left in the market. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say that I'm pretty much saying because it's earnings season, we're not going to have a huge pullback. I'm just going to use this current range right here. And then I would snap my Fibonacci's from the lower end to the high. So, swing low to swing high, okay? And then I apply, and you can see the coefficients. So when I do this, you will notice that we have a green zone right here. This is what we call the primary golden pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in that zone primary GP, okay, or golden profit. And this just lets me know in the future if price gets there, I want to take a trade from there. Now, there's a couple things that I can do. Let me go ahead and show you. I already know that I want to get long here, but the risk is defined by looking at the top and the bottom. On the ES futures, we're looking at 30 points. You may not be an ES futures trader. Again, you can apply this to BABA, Apple, it doesn't matter. But in this case, I'm showing you the ES futures. 30 points wide equals $3 in the SPY. So you know where the zone is. You know you want to get long, but you're not going to put a 30-point stop on an ES futures trade, right? but you might want to do it on a micros trade, or you might want to do it with SPY contracts like calls, or maybe you want to buy equity when it comes down into that zone. Okay. So that is one area that I identified as a primary. Now, let me show you. I'm going to take some of this off, guys, so you can see real quick and make it a little bit cleaner for you. We're going to take that off, and we'll take that off and that. And this area, the reason why I went long here is because I have been focused. Mel and I have both been focused. We know that the gap was here. And what I did was I measured from the gap to not today's high, but last night's high, which was right here. And I want you to notice something. The same exact golden pocket is right here. So today, the news catalyst that I'm telling you, don't focus on what they say. Be focused on the catalyst itself, understanding that news is the catalyst that pushes price to our buy and sell zones. And then we use what we teach you in the room, that confidence and consistency, to execute the trade. So I chilled, I waited. He said whatever he said. I wasn't listening. I don't have time to listen to that. My focus is to execute trades. I'm a technical trader. Prices come down into the zone. Boom, I took the trade. I took multiple contracts here. And as prices moved up, I started to trim. Okay. Now, today, I might have trimmed a little early, but I'm going to show you how you reverse that psychology. We know where to get in the trade. We know what our stops are going to be. And once again, guys, it's going to be right here. Let me take this off. 680, 6883 by 6870. Your risk in this case was about 13 points. Okay. On the SPY, your risk was only $1.30. Do I have any members in here today that went long today with like something else like SPX or SPY, or you sold put credit spreads, anything like that? See, you don't have to use futures, folks. You can use this chart to trade SPY, SPX, options, XSP, all of the good stuff. You don't have to be a futures trader. What you need is to identify these levels. Okay. Now, when price moved to the upside, then I quickly reversed. Okay. I went to the high, I came down to the low, and then my target for the room, I remember, was right here. Okay. So now we reverse the idea. We're using golden profit levels to golden profit levels. Okay. So I use the 50 by 618 and the 50 and 618. So I got long at this one and I got out right here. Sure, it was a little early, but it made me money and I was very happy with the overall outcome. Now let's talk about, why is the golden profit level so crucial? Can anybody tell me? Why is that level so important? Why does it work so well? Does anybody know? What is the reason for it? Why does it work? It's the golden Fibonacci level, right, guys? It's the golden Fibonacci level. It's everywhere in life. It's pretty spectacular. But you got to know how to identify it. And it's not as easy as just going like, hey, man, that's the 618, or that is the golden pocket. What I want you to do is now to start to think about other things like structure. What kind of structure am I looking for? Any of our members, can you tell me what structure you see right here in this zone? Can anybody tell me? And I'm going to show you. It's okay if you don't know what it is. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to show you. So for all the new traders, you'll notice that people are saying that we see inside and up formations there. Okay, inside and up formations. The inside and up formation is really simple. I'll show you really fast. All we're looking for is a candle like this, a candle that closes within the body. As long as it closes within the body, I don't care if there's a wick down here, I don't care if there's a wick up here. As long as it closes in the body, it is an inside candle. And as soon as price goes up and over this body, it is an inside and up formation. And this is how we are identifying our buy blocks, our zones. And when we have confluence at the golden pocket, like an inside and up formation, we now have more confluence and more, I guess you could say, confidence to take the trade. But even then, you could take it a step forward. And what I would tell people is if you use volume, especially volume profile, I want you to look at your volume profile and look for volume ledges. And if you get the confluence that we have a ledge over here, now you have three things that are lining up. And then on top of that, you'll notice that my EMA cloud was right where it needed to be when price came in. See, when prices come down into EMA levels like this, we look for them to be support until proven otherwise. So we had EMA levels, we had inside and up formation, and we had the golden profit zone. And that is exactly what I did was profit. Okay. Now, that one simple process right there is fractal. I can take this to any chart you want me to, and we can look at proof of concept. We could go to a high time frame, like for example, let's do Google. Google was a leap trade of mine in the very beginning of the year. I don't even know how I would continue holding it, to be honest with you. I think I got in at 165 in the money calls for 2026. I would not have been able to hold those. I was just thinking about that. Okay. And basically, what we can do is we can take a range, all right, and we can identify a range. Okay. So when it comes to bigger picture, let me take you into, let's do like a quarterly real quick. And this is off the cuff. So we'll just kind of look over here and we'll take this range. How about this range right here? Everybody see this range in Google from 2020 to the peak here around 2021. Everybody see that right there? We following along? I got your attention, right? We're going to measure that. And what we're looking for is to see, okay? What we're looking for is to see, I'm going to bring this over here right there because that's where it stopped. Where did price stop in 2022? Let's take a look. I mean, I don't know if it stopped at the 50 and 618, but we're going to try. Okay, there we are right there. So right here, it comes down into the 50 and 618, give it a little bit of time, and it moves back up to the upside, and the golden pocket ends up, depending on when you're looking at it. Most people getting out of the way right here. Okay, we're going to use it in that. Now let's look at to the upside. So if I were to take this range and come down to here, and we're to push this over into this area, if I were to go long down here on a reclaim, then I would be targeting this area as well. Okay. And this would be the golden pocket. And you'll notice that when we first came up in here, guys, we actually pulled back a little bit. Now, every one of these coefficients actually have a very strong meaning to them. And you'll learn about more about that in the room. And it's a very easy uh, course, I guess you could say, that you can learn how I trade these. So for example, I'm going to do something with you right now that I would typically wait until 2000. Well, I should say I would wait until December of this year to put this together. Right now, I'm looking for 285 by 295. And I have calls to the upside for our earnings trade right here. Okay. Which is pretty cool because I think I'm in the money. Right. So we're going to take this off. And I want to show you a lot of people are probably coming in and going, holy crap, what do I do? Can everybody identify the range? It's right here. This is your low. This is your high. That's easy, right? Step one, boom, we got it. Let's go ahead and place our Fibonacci's from the low to the high, okay? And we could see here pre-market, give me 1 second. Let's look at the high, 295.78. So we'll go ahead and go up to that range. Anybody in Google in here? Who's in Google? Anybody? How many of you guys are in Google? Hell yeah. Yeah, I bought Google. I bought Google on its last dip on earnings, and it's blowing me away because I just bought it this year, and it's just like, holy crap, you know, it's just crazy. So, anyways, going forward, I want to see how much you guys are learning real quick. Do we have, just from the quarterly chart, do we have a little bit of confluence here around the 618? Pretty close, right? We got a little bit of confluence down there. Do you guys see that? It is like Christmas. I know, man. It's absolutely amazing. We have a 9 EMA. So that's what that is. Okay. Now, I've been studying this for a long time, and I can tell you what's going to happen by understanding the movement of EMAs. Google is probably going to hit $300 tomorrow, and this is going to move to the upside and hit my 618. See, the further we extend to the upside, the more that that 9 EMA is going to push up, and then we are going to have confluence at the golden profit level. And I will be a prophet and tell you in 2026, I would not be shocked if we have some sort of pullback that allows me to get long in the golden profit area. Now, understand, the more it goes up, the more we have to follow the high. And so these levels can change a little bit. Okay. Every time we make a new high, we got to place that coefficient on there. Okay. Now I want to show you something else. I'm going to take it one step further, and this will be the end of this quick demonstration of finding this level. Okay. Tomorrow, many people will find themselves at a disadvantage. They'll say something like, man, I knew I should have bought Google, but I didn't. How the hell do I get into this trade? Right? You've been there. I'm going to teach you something that can help you extremely well. So, what we do if we waited is that we're going to take the gap or the big move up, and we are going to apply the same rules that I just gave you. Okay. So, we are going to take yesterday or today's close, and then we're going, let's just say that it's right here. Okay. Right there. And then we are going to take this Fibonacci tool. We're going to go from the low to the high. We are going to then identify this level here as your golden profit. Now, listen, guys, things might change before we open. We could spike to 310. I don't know. So this is right now. This is your golden profit. We're going to identify that. Let's see if you guys are catching on. One more question. What right now do we have confluent on the 4-hour chart with the golden Fibonacci level here at around 280.60? What do you guys see? Boom. 9 EMA. You see how we're starting to get some confluence? Now, we're going to drop the time frame, and we are going to start to try and find structure around the 50 and 618. Okay, we're going to keep going down. That's a 2-hour. Let's go to a 30-minute. We're going to keep going down, 15-minute. We have no structure here. Nothing. There's no other confluence. Just so that we're clear. I got a 50 and 618, and I got a 9 EMA on a 4-hour. Those are my two things that I got going for me in that level. And if I want to take this trade, if we come down to here, this is going to be my risk. Now, in the room, I will show you guys what we look for in the trendy room to give you confidence to take this trade. You don't have to trade this blindly. I'm going to leave you at that. We'll talk about the confirmation tomorrow in the room. So I really appreciate y'all's attention. I appreciate your time. It's been an hour and a half. I know that we got people on the East Coast, West Coast, we got people in Europe. Thank you so much for being here. But before I jump off, are there any other questions that we really feel like you need to get answered right now before I step off? Cliffhanger. Did you like it? Tracy was a good one. Hurricane Melissa. That's right. Mel, you still around? You out there, girl? I
Of
was worried
course,
about
I'm
you. I was
still
hey,
around.
I was worried about you. You were having a little like dry dry throat. And I was like, man, I just want to come through the screen and give you some water. I was like, dang girl. We're all happy. I was
I got my hot tea, man.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, really? One of the better presentations you've seen? Thank you. I appreciate that. And Melissa appreciates that. Thank you guys.
Darren's asked, or is it Darren? Sorry, Mark's asking for the link for purchase. If one of the mods can throw that in the chat.
Yeah, the link for
There you
purchase, if
go.
you guys could throw it
Lorna's
in there.
always on. Lorna's on it.
Okay, I want to make sure that I'm clear too, Mel, because I feel like it gets a little like jumbled in here. The elite package by far is obviously is the best deal. We know that. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. And Mel, you can validate this, and I'm sure some members can validate this. You're going to come into the room during the challenge, and let's say you buy one of the smaller packages, you're going to see that people are loving the room and our levels, and then you're going to miss the deal, and you're going to fork up $3,000 just to buy the indicators, and that's you're going to miss out on the deal. And I know this because I see that it happened last time during our challenge, Mel. A lot of people want what they see. We have a lot of proof of concept, and so I always say that our stuff sells itself. I don't need to come out here and do this. I feel like you come in the room, we show you how to trade. You love it. You stay because we're all wanting to make money. But this right here it's really a good deal. I mean,
Yeah.
look. Tell your significant other you shop for Christmas early.
I wish I would have gotten this kind of deal 3 years ago. Is all I got to say, because I
Yeah,
paid more than that for the indicators.
Yeah, we have, and I forgot to ask you, are you still paying for the monthly membership? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No,
Oh.
but yeah. So believe it or not, Mel also paid for the indicators. Yep,
Yep,
he did.
Terry, they work on Trading View. They
They
sure
do.
do.
Here. Let me show you real quick. Actually, I have. Let me pull up the screen. So we have Trinity Edges. We have a cloud on here. Everything's on here. They'll get downloaded. All you have to do is once you purchase, you come over to indicators, and then you go to invite only, and you're going to find my indicators in here, and then you just click on them, and boom, they're right there. Okay. Yep. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, on TradingView. Yeah, sure I can. Show the fib tool. You got it. It's this up here. So this thing. Oh, it's not that one. Sorry. Boom. This is what it looks like. Looks the same. 88.7, 618. I got all the same coefficients on there. Okay. And the fib tool is free. I mean, that's part of TradingView. It's already on there. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so excited, man. I can't wait to
Yeah, me
eat
too,
dinner, go
guys.
to bed, and then wake up for the challenge.
I'm already pumped though. My wife was like, "You're gonna do Monday nights," and I'm like, "Hey, you get me during this challenge. You get to hang out with me on Saturday because guys, we work on Sunday as well. Melissa works on Saturday, so Saturday she'll do a video and a live session with you. Sunday I do a video that I send out, and so that means for Ashley, that's my wife, she gets to hang out with me during this challenge on Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday. So you guys have our full attention. Like I said, our mission is to make you guys better traders. So
Yep, it
I'm
works for
pumped.
gold, Terry. Yes.
What, the PMZ or?
All the indicators
Oh yeah, yeah,
and night. Oh,
yeah,
you didn't mention we have a nighttime
yeah. We
PMZ.
have a night PMZ as well. Let me see if I can find my chart. So one thing I noted a long time ago is when we are um, like do webinars around this time, the market tends to. I don't know why it's you and I. Every time we get on here, the market goes up. It's kind of nice. I think the universe just loves us. So, all right, let's come over here. Um, Again, this is going to be what you're looking at in the morning when I'm on. Now, Melissa and I alternate. So she does one day in the morning. So we both are going to be there, but we do the opening session. We alternate. So we'll be doing that during the challenge. But this is the screen you're going to see, and you can turn on a nighttime PMZ, which is super cool. I could come over here and turn it on right now and just trade out of the PMZ. Earlier when we started the session, I identified a buy zone and I was going to take this with you guys, but it was too early. It was like right at the beginning, and I didn't want people, stressing out during the webinar. So I laid off and didn't take a trade, but tomorrow we definitely will. All right. All right, cool. Well, I think we're good, right? Are we good? From simpler support, we're good to go. We're ready to rock and roll, guys. We love you. Thank you so much for being here, Mel. Thank you for being here. Thank you, support, Marzo, Lorna, Simpler Trading support. Thank you so much. Let's have an amazing day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Friday Eve. See you soon. Bye, Mel.
Awesome. Bye, guys.